Switch 2 becomes the fastest selling Nintendo hardware ever, with over 3.5 million units sold worldwide in just 4 days. To put that into context, the first Nintendo Switch sold 2.7 million in about a month's time. So let that sink in. In addition, Nintendo Switch has a market share of about 60% of, consoles in circulation compared to the PlayStation 5 and Series X and S, meaning Nintendo sells. Most of the games released for the Switch 2 are in the $60 to $70 range, with the only two exceptions in the higher end being the Mario titles, Mario Kart and Mario Jamboree, and those propelled all the way to $80. What do you think that means? At least according to GameSpot.com, the best-selling game is Mario Kart World. A what? An $80 title. Folks, I'm going to tell you what this means. This means we are getting $80 games very soon. Every other AAA developer is looking at this and saying, why can't that be me? Why can't I sell an $80 game alongside a $450 console when my console has better graphics? My console plays better. My console has a library of AAA titles. Well, Nintendo, come on. We know why we buy Nintendo. It's for the first-party games, the Marios, the Zeldas, the Kirby's. That's about it. But don't get me wrong. Those are juggernauts. Those titles are franchises that go... My dad was playing Mario in his 20s, right? That's just the thing. It's that despite what everyone said about the Nintendo Switch price and the game prices, everyone went out and bought it in droves. I mean, the ridiculous... The sales to 3.5 million in the first 4 days. I hate to say this. Nintendo knows what they're doing. And for all the YouTube videos out there right now saying, oh, I'm disenfranchised with Nintendo, the magic's gone, they're an evil company. Well, yeah. That's corporate Japan right there. Here's a fun fact. Did you guys know Nintendo started out making they started making playing cards when gambling was banned in Japan. They were making gambling cards at a time when it was illegal. And then after that, they opened adult hotels. So Nintendo, I think they'll do whatever it takes to win the game. And they are winning by leaps and bounds. There's no doubt about that. Reason being is that the kids who grew up playing Nintendo, a lot of them are probably, man, I don't want to insult these kinds of people, but they're the kind of people who can't let go of the past, and they haven't established themselves as adults, even in their 30s and 40s. They are still doing a lot of the same activities as they did when they were, in their teens and 20s. That's why you see, when you type in Nintendo 2 review, you see a plethora of 30 and 40-year-olds reviewing the Switch 2. They say, oh, I'm disappointed, I'm this, I'm that. Nintendo already knew they were going to buy it, right? That's just the kind of people they are. They're going to buy it, and despite saying, oh, it's a ripoff, I'm not going to buy it, they bought it anyways. And second, that's not really the demographic Nintendo's trying to grow right now. They're trying to grow little Timmy. Little Timmy right now is maybe anywhere from 8 to 12 years old. He says, hey, Dad, I want a Nintendo Switch 2. Dad gets back from work and goes on Amazon and goes, woo, $450. Well, I think little Timmy's going to get that for his birthday or Christmas. He works a couple hours overtime, a few weeks, and voila, Christmas comes. Little Timmy gets Nintendo Switch. Little Timmy gets the $80 Mario Kart game, and he doesn't complain. He doesn't go to his dad and say, "Oh, Nintendo 2's life battery is weak. Oh, it's a slight upgrade from the Switch 1." No, little Timmy's thrilled. He is enthralled. And guess what? Little Timmy just became a Nintendo boy. Nintendo doesn't care that you're upset about $80 games. Nintendo doesn't care that you're upset that they copyright strike everyone on YouTube. Nintendo doesn't care that they take down, mods for their games. They don't care at all because I hate to say this, they know what they're doing. They've built a brand that's, the pillars, these things, mammoths of pop culture. Think about Pokemon alone. I know that's Game Freaks, but the word is Nintendo has a lot of sway in what Game Freaks or Pokemon does. Pokemon's not going anywhere. They're staying on Nintendo exclusively. With that said, just like what would happen with what happened with PUBG, we had all the other arena shooters come out. Well, not arena shooters. It's a battle royale shooter. How many games have tried to replicate that success? Again, Fortnite being the only one to do so. That's not stopping. They still, to this day, try to replicate the success of Fortnite. These companies are simple. They see what works, and they keep trying and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, despite the failures. They're going to see Nintendo with the two $80 games that Nintendo have up there. That's first of many to come. I promise you that. First of many. And all the talk of, third-party sellers not doing as well on Nintendo Switch. When have third-party sellers ever done, well on Nintendo consoles? Save for maybe, Super Nintendo. It's about the last time third-party games did pretty good, because they had a lot of really cool games on Super Nintendo. It's a whole nother time. But the success of the Nintendo Switch is guaranteed. It has sealed in stone $80 games. They're coming. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if some companies shoot for 90. It seems like people just buy them, and I wish I could tell you why. I have no idea why people are buying these games for $80. With the economy how it is right now, you think people would be trying to save them? Nope. Not at all. The question is this going to be a good idea for the gaming industry as a whole? That's the industry is separate from the consumers, right? As an industry, I think raising prices on games outside of Nintendo, because Nintendo, let's be real, little Timmy's going to drive the prices for the next 20, 30 years, just like the original millennials did for the original Super Nintendo consoles. But anyways, the other ones, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, I think this is a bad idea. It's going to be a bad move, and it's going to have a lot of negative effects on the industry, because quality and innovation is down for games right now, and they're going to start asking for more money. Off the top of my head, Veilguard released for $60 and is now on sale for $30 on Steam. And that game was a piece of trash. I'm sorry. It really was. I've ranted enough about Veilguard. I was not impressed. But that is sort of the standard in AAA right now. Not to say it can't change. But think of how many great games you can go back and play for, $10. I'm a huge advocate for GOG, not sponsored or anything, but just on the first page, I type in all games. We got Devil May Cry. Well, let's do 10 and under, right? We'll keep it there. Alan Wake, okay game, $1.50. Mortal Kombat 4, $1.50. Well, no, I gotta include this one. Baldur's Gate for friggin' $47 on sale. Regular price $60. Blows away almost any RPGs released in the past 5, probably 10 years. That is a phenomenal game for you. For $60 is the easy purchase. Well, shoot, Dino Crisis and Dino Crisis 2, $15. Resident Evil 1 through 3, $20. Terraria, $5. Knights of the Republic, $3.50. Guys, I'd much rather play any one of those games I just listed over Veilguard or anything, most of everything else that came out in, this year, really, save with a couple of exceptions. So them trying to release these $80 games, which it's going to happen. Trust me. Like how when I said the Switch 2 was going to do great, right? I'm not saying this. I'm not talking off the side of my deck. And I think you know that as well. If you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike it, give it a dislike. And if you would be so inclined, subscribe. I like to cover things here from a different angle. I kind of like to get introspective, just a tad, not too much. I'm not really a mainstream game kind of guy, though I will get into mainstream games. I'm not, contrarian just to be contrarian. I just think indie games is where it's at right now. A really cool AAA comes out, I'll cover that. But until then, take care, guys. Later days.